What's going on, everybody? This is Nick Lawson from Squad Sports. We're really excited to be supporting the Free Agent Friday series. A lot of great talent out there. Without further ado, this is the next free agent you should be signing with your sports team.
All right, we're back for another Free Agent Friday, and I have Jarrett Forrest with me. How you doing, Jarrett?
I'm doing well, Andrew. How are you?
I'm doing great this morning. It's nice out for once.
It is.
Some sun.
It is. Yeah, not too bad.
So let's talk about your college experience, where you went to school, and what degrees you have.
Sure. So I actually originally went to school at York College, Pennsylvania, straight out of high school. I'm okay to admit that I was young and I was stupid then.
Like most of us.
I mean, this was 15 years ago. I didn't think at the time college was for me. So I actually left York, came back home, worked with my dad and was a golf pro for a little bit. But eventually I enlisted in the military, which gave me the opportunity to utilize the GI Bill. And I came back home after 6 years in the Air Force, and I graduated from Temple University.
Nice. That's awesome. Thanks for your service.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
When you were in school at Temple, did you do any internships at all?
Yes. So I did a lot of volunteering. I volunteered first with the NFL draft. I was lucky when the draft was here in Philly. I was lucky to volunteer there. I also freelance wrote for 3 different websites as far as football and fantasy football. So that was helpful. But my big internship came in my senior year working with the Philadelphia Soul, where I was the football operations intern and kind of wore a lot of different hats under Bo Bell and the Soul.
Now, what got you into sports? I mean, were you an athlete? Did you play?
So, I mean, I hate to say it, but, I've always been a fan, and I'm sure that's the blanket response. But I was an athlete growing up. My dad had me outside constantly. I played football, played baseball. As I mentioned before, I played golf. So I've always been playing. In high school, I had a terrible, terrible injury to my shoulder. So I had it completely reconstructed, broke my collarbone, 3 ligaments, dislocation, the whole deal. So I kind of reflected on that and said, you know what, maybe playing isn't the route I should go. I can't have these injuries. So I just started kind of studying it. And, I always wanted to get into scouting with football. Football's always been my first love. But then, working with the Soul and getting a taste of the business side, I just fell in love with it even more.
Arena football is a lot of fun. And
it was great.
The Soul have, been a very successful team over the years. So definitely would have been good. When you were,
it was phenomenal. And we made it to the championship game the year I was interning. So that was nice. Lost, but it was still a great ride.
Who do you remember who you guys lost to?
We lost to Albany.
Albany. Okay. What kind of stuff were you doing when you were with the Soul?
So like I said, I wore a lot of different hats. And I remember specifically the day that I accepted the internship, I was introducing our executive in residence at Temple, and it was James Van Stone. And, he runs a lot of basically half the league when I was around. And he said, you're going to wear a lot of different hats. So I did a lot of marketing with local restaurants and furniture and clothing things, because a lot of the restaurants give back to the team and bring the players in for food. And, that's one of the benefits of the Arena League. I did a lot of communications and event organization with the Meet the Soul Day. So we brought in press and fans, and you got to look at an open scrimmage against the New Atlantic City team at the time. And that's really where I fell in love with the communications aspect, just kind of being the liaison between fans, media, and players and staff.
What is kind of your dream job that you're looking for?
I mean, in a perfect world, GM of an NFL team, right? But that's shooting for the stars.
Can happen though, man. It can happen.
Absolutely. I believe in myself. I know it can happen. Right now, I love the fact that I was with a startup professional league. I think that, a handful of people can say that. So that was a dream job, to be part of a startup professional league. Now that I've done that, I want to keep growing. I'm in the communication sector of professional sports. I love to be, keep going with the director of communications for a specific team, for a specific NFL team. I think is a realistic goal for me right now.
Nice. So communication side, where'd you go after the Soul?
So after the Soul, I graduated from Temple in May of 2019. and it was tough. I mean, it was about 4 months where I have about 300 cover letters saved in my computer right now, and I was sending out applications to everybody. And I was lucky enough to get a call in November for a job that I applied to 3 months prior. And Gina Antoniello from the Guardians, the director of communications, said, "You want to come in for an interview? You know, we're interested in you." And so in November, I went in for the interview with Gina and Janet Duke, Anthony Zucconi, and the interview went well, and they decided to pick me up for the season.
So while you were with the Guardians, what kind of responsibilities did you have?
So it was a pretty big team, but the communications sector was only 2 people. It was only me and Gina.
Wow.
Yeah. So for a professional football team, we did a lot. It was great. I loved it, every minute of it. So obviously the primary aspect of it was being liaison between players and media, especially for a startup league as big as the XFL was in a New York market. You know, that took a lot. We had a lot of media wanting to attend practices, wanting to come to games. I was responsible for writing and releasing a lot of the press releases, designing the game notes, designing the flip cards, releasing that to media and the suite holders. Additionally, you know, if players needed something from me, they would come through me, and then I would relay it back to the business side. So a lot of that was minor. A lot of that was song requests for pregame. But still, I mean, for them, that's an important aspect, right?
Oh, yeah. No, it is. That's these guys, they're all
absolutely.
about it.
And then, you know, we wanted to get the community to know the players. So we had a lot of, we brought them on to Fox in New York City. We had an interview with one of our running backs, Darius Victor, on NPR, where he told his amazing story growing up in a refugee camp and then coming here. So I would liaise on that. I would take him into New York, where a lot of these people have never been. A lot of these players have never been to New York City. They don't know how to handle it. So that was an experience for me. And then on game day, I managed a 6-person staff. We had great help. And then I helped manage the MetLife press box, which is massive. If you've ever been there, it's huge, just a gigantic press box. So I helped manage that. We had a lot of in-game activities. And if you're familiar with the XFL, you know just how up close and personal it was. So we had a lot of responsibilities with that as far as on-field interviews and in-game hosts. And then I helped with the press conference afterwards.
Did you travel with the team as well on the road trips?
Gina traveled with the team. I didn't, because with a 2-person team, we figured the best way to go about this was she would travel with the team, and then I would stay at home and kind of just listen to the game and take notes on what could be talking points for the press conference. Right. And luckily for us, that turned out to be the absolute perfect way to go about it, especially with our second game of the season. We had some things happen where we had to be prepared going into the press conference, and I was able to relay that to Gina, you know, as soon as possible.
What's kind of your most memorable, you know, moment or event there while you were there?
That's a great question. I would say opening day.
That's always the best, man.
Yeah,
I love opening day.
We were lucky enough to host also. So our first game was at home, and you know, walking out onto MetLife Field with our logos, and the fans were great. The fans were going nuts, which was awesome. And then just to feel the players and to see how excited they were, and to be a part of it, and to have a win, and for everything to go well, and just 3 months of planning for that game was just so rewarding.
Yeah, I talked about it on one of my other episodes. First game of the year is always because nobody knows everything you had to go through to get there.
No, nobody.
But you and that group, and it's and then when you see everybody having a good time, and to get a win is even better. So.
Oh, it was great, and it was so nerve-wracking going up. I couldn't sleep the night before, and I got to the stadium at about 5:30, 6 a.m. And it was me and the operations manager.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I just don't know what to do. I just can't sleep. I just had to be here. And then sure enough, you know, time flew. And the game was over before we knew it. And I was sitting in the press box kind of reflecting and everything. And it was a little emotional. It was great though.
Yeah, I always like to go and get there first and just kind of sit in the stands when nobody's
Take a breath.
there and just kind of like think about what it took to
Absolutely.
get there.
Absolutely.
It's cool. I love that. What would you say is the biggest skill that you'll bring to a new position?
I would say my maturity. I think that my maturity stands out above my peers, and I'm not saying that my peers aren't mature, but I think that something comes with 6 years serving in the military that can't be taught, in school. I think that's why I'm so kind of dead set on a communications position, because I have the maturity to be with professional athletes and not be starstruck. I know that I have a job to do and I need to own it. And I think that communications, you need a special kind of maturity to go about and to handle your business.
Yeah, definitely. What would you say you need to work on the most?
When, again, I'm going to relate back to the military just because it was such a big chapter of my life. But when I got out of the military, I was in a position where I was leading 13 men teams overseas. So I had a huge leadership role. I think coming into a position like this, with the Guardians and with the Soul, I had to learn to be more of a follower than anything. I've humbled myself, and I know that, going into it, I need to be a fly on the wall in every room that I can, every meeting that I can, and I need to saturate everything. I need to learn, and I need to follow before I could lead like I did in the military, like in my past lives.
That's good. It's definitely an adjustment anytime you're in leadership to not being in leadership. I mean,
100%.
it was tough for me when I first
I
did it because I've always been on the leadership side, and then to not, definitely, it's a learning experience, which is good.
It is.
So give us a fun fact about you.
A fun fact about me, other than I was in the military. That's a great question. Okay, I had, and it's not too fun for me, knowing how me and my now wife are reacting to it. I had my wedding postponed and then canceled due to COVID.
What?
So I was part of that crew.
Wow.
Where COVID really impacted not only my work life, obviously, but my personal life. On April 10th, I was supposed to be married to my now wife, Ashley. We had to postpone. April 10th was also the day that the XFL shut down. So not a great day for me, but it's okay. So we postponed to July 9th, so just a few days ago. And obviously, anybody who's familiar with New Jersey right now, that clearly did not happen. So me and Ashley decided, you know what, we're just going to cancel. We're not going to go through the headache of that again. Whatever refunds we could get from the venue or the companies we get, but let's just do our own thing. And so we're going to try and just have a small dinner with our family, when indoor dining opens up again. But
it's not opened up there yet.
No, they opened up for a week. And I think he saw how the South had kind of responded to that. Right. So Governor Murphy decided to just close it down for now, which I think is a smart move. Don't
be safe.
Yeah, exactly. Don't get hasty. But it might not be a fun fact, but Ashley and I were able to look back and laugh at it. We're happy. We're fine right now. We didn't need the big wedding. So it is.
So when's the plan then to officially get married then? Or have you already done the paperwork and everything?
Yep. So
nice. Congrats, man.
We were actually officially married last November.
Okay.
So we didn't tell a lot of people then because we had gotten married for special circumstances.
Okay.
For family purposes.
Yep.
And we didn't tell a lot of people. And we were going to go into April just as the day we were getting married.
Right.
I have my vows written out.
Nice.
Still haven't said them to her. So I had a military friend fly out who's ordained, who's going to marry us. But officially we've been married since November. The anniversary that we're celebrating, since there's so many options now, is going to be the April 10th. So the original day of the wedding. And that's what we're going to do moving forward.
Nice. Well, congrats.
Thank you.
I just had my 23-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
Got married at 18. I wouldn't recommend that, but
yeah, no, that's great. That's great.
But no, it's good. It's good when you have that. With your next position, are you open to relocation?
100%. So again, Ashley is a nurse, so she's been going through hell this whole time with COVID. Yeah. But one of the first things I told her when we started dating was, listen, I'm pursuing a career in sports. It could take me anywhere. She says, I'm a nurse. I don't want to stay in New Jersey.
Right.
So, as
So
this
get
application,
something.
yeah, exactly. As this application process is going, my radius that I'm setting for mileage is unlimited. I'm willing to go anywhere if I believe that the position is right for me. I'm not going to, move Ashley and I across the country for, a part-time or an internship. I know what I'm qualified for, and if the right full-time position opens itself up in California, I will move 3,000 miles to California if I believe it's right for me and her.
No, that's good. So are you a gamer? I see like you have like a gaming chair there. Like my
Yes,
son has the same one, but in blue.
Very observant. So I have my battle station here. It's a stress reliever. So
Yeah.
I have you can see in the corner is my little gaming monitor and my PS4 underneath it. And honestly, the only time I play is with my military friends. It's how we stay in touch. So we play Call of Duty. And then I have a couple of computer solo player games that are just keeping the mind sharp. A lot of puzzle games I like to do just for myself. But yeah, it's therapeutic.
No, it is. It is. So my son got that chair maybe like 2 months ago. So
it was a great deal off Amazon. I think it was $100.
Yeah.
No, it's phenomenal. I love it.
That's good. Well, hey, I think you got, a bright future, man. I think you got some great experience, the military thing definitely, I'm sure helps with discipline and everything else. So, hopefully we can help get the word out there about you a little bit more so people can get to know you, and hopefully we'll see you back in the saddle soon. No,
well, I appreciate you having me on. Like I told you before this call started, it'd be foolish for anybody not to take this opportunity, get ourselves out there. I would love to see more of my friends on talking to you. And I'll be sure to suggest that they do. But
definitely, sure.
Yeah. But again, thank you for having me. And hopefully the next time we talk, it'll be to update you on a new position.
Yeah. Sounds good, man.
All right, Andrew.